أهلا وسهلا فيكم. Hello and welcome to evaslebanesecooking.com. I am Eva from evaslebanesecooking.com, and today we're going to be featuring kibbeh with caramelized onions. I hope you enjoy this video as much as I have enjoyed putting it together for you. And again, thank you for all of your support. Sahtan. We're going to start off by talking about the ingredients. This is ground beef and it's 93%. Normally you would get a piece of roast and you would cut out chunks that has the less white or the less fat, and then you would grind it in your food processor until it is pretty much like ground chuck. I'm able to purchase it at 93. There's also 97% if your local supermarket has it. This is if you're crunched for time and you don't want to get the whole roast and chop. That's what we're using tonight. Salt and pepper will be to taste. We'll dash a little bit of salt in our caramelizing onion and also for our meat. Onion, as many as you want, as little as you want. My family loves caramelized onions. Bulgur or wheat germ. We go to our local Mediterranean store that has this, and it comes in different levels, whether it's fine to coarse. This is just your regular size, and it's wheat germ. It comes in wheat and white. And of course, olive oil. Olive oil is local. It is found anywhere in your supermarkets or anywhere you find your specialty ingredients. Our first step is to soak our wheat germ. It comes in a jar that's hard. So what you do is you just bring the water to its level and then drain any other additional wet water, and it just becomes soft to the touch. Usually done about 10 to 15 minutes prior to doing your mixture. Our first step is to caramelize your onions. So if you slice them, cut your onions in half, and then slice them where you're having just your pieces that are broken out, and then add them to your pot. Once I've sliced my onions, I've added them to a pan of drizzled olive oil, or you could use 3 tablespoons of olive oil, and caramelize them on medium to low heat. For your meat mixture, have your meat in a good sized bowl, your wheat germ, which you've already soaked, and have a bowl of ice water to help with mixing the bowl. Add your salt and pepper. I used a half a teaspoon of pepper and a teaspoon of salt. Again, your salt and pepper is to taste. You can start off lightly and then go from there. Now, what I do normally is I'll knead the meat first before adding my wheat germ. Now, I added the half a teaspoon of pepper and 1 teaspoon of salt. And now with my water, ice water in my meat, I will mix it together before I add my meat germ. And it's just mixing it together and using just a little bit of your water, your ice water, to get the meat all together with the salt and pepper. And then once that's mixed in together, you'll add your wheat germ to the bowl. Once your wheat germ is in your bowl, you'll take your grater and a small piece of your onion from when you sliced your onion, and you'll just grate it on top of the meat. And then using your ice water again, and just mix the mixture by adding little at a time your water. You want your wheat germ and your meat mixed evenly. Okay. Once you have your wheat germ and your meat evenly mixed, you're ready to put your pan together. So you have your kibbeh pan ready. Now I'll drizzle a little bit of tiny olive oil at the bottom of my pan before I add my caramelized onion. You want enough oil on the bottom base so that way your kibbeh doesn't stick. Caramelized onion, just pour it the center of your pan. And then just spread it out. And you want to evenly spread it in your pan so that every bite of kibbeh gets that delicious taste of the onions. And then how I put it, I do patties from my kibbeh, and I'll flatten it out in my hand. And you can do it at any thickness that you want, thin or thick, and then I just patches throughout my pan to completely cover it. We'll do one more. Okay, we're down to our last patch. You just make it to the size that it's missing, and you patch it. And then if you just, with the cold water, wet the top of your hands, and then just work around your pan to kind of get it all patched and mixed in together and formed by moving the pieces of kibbeh together. And to flatten it out, make it even all around. Kibbeh is traditionally made in a round pan, but you can use a baking sheet. You can use a casserole dish, whatever you have. It is doable, and trust me, I have done them on all of them. So what I do is I'll take a regular spoon, I'll just wet the back of it with a little bit of water and go around the edges just to kind of bring it down and make it even all around and no missing pieces. And then I'll take my knife. Now with a round, you'll cut it like a pizza. Sometimes you can cut it straight down. Kibbeh's cut prior to baking, by the way. You can cut it straight down. And sometimes I'll do little bite squares if we have a dinner party and some additional or appetizer styles coming through. And I'll cut them into little bite-sized squares. Or if you want to do your pizza, you can just a regular size pizza and just cut it down to triangles. I'm sure either way you cut it is going to be just delicious. Once you've pre-cut your kibbeh, put your finger in the center, take a fork, and then just give a little decoration to each slice. And I usually just use this. You can use the fork, the spoon that you just used, or the knife, and just a little indentation, it gives it a little style. Then you'll take your olive oil and you'll pour it in the center, and you'll just drizzle around just enough to kind of coat the pan for its baking, and off to the oven it goes. So I've put my oven on broil high, and then I'll put my pan at the bottom shelf, and I'll check it every few minutes and just turn it that way so the top is cooked evenly. And then this will be about 15-20 minutes until the top part is a golden brown color. So 15 minutes was up, and I have rotated it a couple of times, and that's what the top's going to look like. Now you can have it looking a little bit more golden brown if you'd like. Again, it's preference. Change your oven temperature to 375 and leave it another 15 to 20 minutes or until the bottom is cooked. And your kibbeh is done. That was 15 minutes on the bottom side. You just take your knife and just kind of recut what you had cut. And if you spatula it up, bring it up with its onions, flip it onto the plate with its caramelized onions. And there you go. Thank you for joining us on our very first video of EvasLebaneseCooking.com. And as they say in Arabic, sahtan.